Today we're going to look at how to start a cut flower garden. Now, I've been a florist for a long time, like over 10 years, but I've never been able to really grow things, which is kind of weird and ironic, I guess, but there it is. Most of the plants that I've gotten in my home or outside have died for one reason or another. So it's kind of like a bold decision for me to decide I really want to do a cut flower garden this year. And if I was going to do a little bit, I was going to do a lot. So it was kind of like a big area that I was doing flowers in for someone who doesn't have a good track record with growing things. So I recorded this video. I'll show you in a minute, like the steps, like how I started the garden. I recorded it a few months ago, back in the spring, but I haven't shown anybody this yet because, like I said, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to grow anything, and I didn't want to put this out in the world and then like be disappointed or something. But things are growing now, and I'm super excited, and I love how things are turning out. So I wanted to show you how I started it all. And then in a later video, I will give you an update on how things are going and what I've made and stuff like that out of my flowers. If you want to show off your cut flower garden or even your floral designs, make sure you head over to the Flower Design for Beginners Facebook group. It's free, and you can check that out at flowerdesignforbeginners.com. And if you want help designing with arrangements, make sure you check out my free 8-step beginner's guide at centerpetals.com/guide. So I hope you enjoy me getting started in my cut flower garden journey. And without further ado, here's the video.
So we first started with this area that had already been laid down with topsoil. My husband was nice enough to weed it for me so that I can just jump right into the planting. I had done a lot of research beforehand on how to keep the weeds down without having to spray all the time. And what was recommended the most was getting this plastic sheeting that you put down over the soil to help minimize the weeds that are there. You can pretty much find the plastic weed blocker at any garden center. So once that was all laid out, I placed out all my bulbs based on how far apart was recommended on the packaging. I had just bought the bulbs that I could find at Home Depot and other garden centers because I was really trying to keep my costs lower instead of getting specialty bulbs, although I feel like the specialty bulbs would probably grow a little better. So here is the area that I've planted the most. It's about, this whole area is about 40 feet long. The part at the end there that doesn't have the black tarp is about 8 feet. So it's about 32 feet of planting area. And I've kind of try to space them out just based on how much room they're gonna grow and whatnot. And this area gets sun most of the day, so most of these are full sun to part sun plants. And the bulbs that I'm doing are peonies, and then we got some dahlias in here. And then some anilum or allium. Allium, I think is how you say it. And then up front here is Ixa. It's IXIA, Ixa, I guess is how you would say that. Then we got several rows of freesia. And then some plants that are actually already growing that I didn't start these myself. These I got as starts from a garden center or whatever. But I got some Islamic poppies, and then a scabiosa in the back there. And this is a dwarf snapdragon. Couple of mini carnations in the front here. Couple of delphinium in the back. And then a couple, I'm not even sure if these will be good cut flowers, but I just really think they're pretty, and I like the height and stuff that they're going to be. They're going to be about a foot long or so. And those are called Namisa, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. I do have a little bit more space. I could add a few more things. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do that and just try to grow what I have already. You can see our backyard is kind of awkward. It's got this fairly steep hill on it. We had to plant some plants up along the fence there to actually help keep the soil in place. The first year or two we were here, the stuff was like running down and sliding down the hill when we get really bad downpours, and then it just kind of puddle in our grassy area, which was like a big old mud pit at the time. This grass we've grown in the last year or so, so it's kind of sparse, but still a work in progress. And then we also have a little herb garden going here. There's some oregano, thyme, rosemary, and cilantro. Those are mostly going to be used for actually like herbs and seasonings our food and stuff. But you can use rosemary for cut flower like foliage too if you want, so I might try that out too. These plants right here, you see it, kind of these big plants that are on a hill. They seem to get pretty leggy, but I don't know how well they'll do as a cut like foliage greenery, so I might test that out. And over here, see, this is an example of my previous gardening experience, so that's why this is the whole like new challenge to try to do this year. Leftover from last year tomato, but we're also trying to do some blueberries. There's about 3 blueberry plants here, and then here is I'm doing some ranunculus, and we'll see if this grows. We actually put this like little retaining wall and then put topsoil on it just to be able to have a little bit more area to grow things, just because we don't have a whole lot of space in our backyard. And then what else do we got? So this plant here is actually shamrock. I think I shocked it. It was indoors and I didn't even think about it, which I should have known. I have tons of experience with indoor plants, but I just put it out here, and then it kind of got really cold and looks like it died. So hopefully this is not an indication of how the rest of this is gonna go, but we'll see. So I might use this container pot for something else. And then we also got some more thyme that's still growing from last year that we planted. A little bit of rosemary, and then some chives actually kind of popped up from a plant from last year. So that's kind of what we're doing in the backyard. It's all a big experiment for us because we aren't avid gardeners or anything. Like, I know how to use and handle cut things, but growing is a whole different ball game, which I have had either little success with or haven't really attempted a whole lot. So we'll see. But here's our whole backyard, and then our wall there. So we'll see how it goes. I do actually want to get a rose plant that I have seen that are kind of already started. It's already in a big pot that I might get some of that. And then I also would like to do a hydrangea bush. Not entirely sure where I'd put that, just because I don't really want to put it on the end. There's not a whole lot of topsoil down there at the end, so I'm not sure that that's gonna work out as well. So we'll see if I get the hydrangea, but I'll probably definitely try to do the rose bush. So wish me luck on this, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.